What is the right pace for you to be stacking gold and silver? Welcome to Silver Heist. Thank you to our returning subscribers and guests. Well, I asked my audience that very question in a poll. I have over 300 responses from 1 month, 2 months, up to 2 years. I'll share that poll with you at the end to see what your fellow stackers are doing. I'm going to show you 100 ounces of silver and talk about some personal experiences which will answer the question definitively, what is the right pace for you? In my late 40s, I decided to take on a challenge for myself, and I started jogging and participating in 5K and 5-mile races, and I had only jogged a few times and got myself up to 2 or 3 miles jogging on the beach. When I did my first race, it was 5-mile cross country. It was in the woods, a little bit hilly, not too bad. But because it was a long woods run with lots of turns, I was dead last. And I didn't see anybody in front of me for like the last 2 miles. The only person with me was the EMT who was pedaling on her bicycle to make sure that the stragglers weren't getting injured. So I had no one to compete against, but my goal was to finish it, and my goal was to not walk it. So as long as I was jogging or shuffling, I was moving forward. Now another 5K race that I did, I had torn my calf muscle the year before. So this was my first race after that recuperation. And there were some steep dirt trails on this race. So I was at the back of the pack. The last 3 participants were me, a guy with his 4-year-old son on his shoulders, and a 70-year-old guy. So the guy with the kid would let his kid jog alongside him for a while and then put the kid back up on his shoulders. So the 3 of us were trading positions back and forth. Towards the end, we left the father and son duo at dead last, and I was catching up to the 70-year-old guy, and there was less than a half a mile to go when I saw him at the bottom of a hill, and as I was racing down the hill to close the gap, I coughed, and he heard me, and he turned around, and he took off like a jackrabbit, and I did not see him again to the finish line. So I came in second to last, and I was beat by that 70-year-old runner. Now the next year, in a little better shape and a few more races under my belt, I cut about 6 minutes off my time, and I beat that old man. Now another 5K run was along the seashore on pavement, but it was very flat. So that was much faster. So I had earbuds in my ear and I was just jogging along, but I had the Rocky Final Bell theme all queued up to play for my big finish. So unfortunately, I started my big finish too early. I passed 4 or 5 people as Rocky compelled me forward, but I did not make it through the final round, and I was giving up my lead as one by one those same people passed me. So with the finish line in sight, I picked it up and I finished strong, but I held on to my position and didn't trade any slots with anybody else. Now, the other funny thing about that same race is that while I ran a 5K race, different runners were running a bigger loop on a 10K route. And so at the finish line, I bumped into someone I knew from town who's a good athlete. I know he runs pretty well. And I asked him how he did. And he answered he was pleased, and he said what his time was. And then he asked me how mine was. And I said that I think I had my best time ever. And I told him what my time was. And his jaw dropped. But I had to tell him with a laugh that I ran the 5K while he was running the 10K. So, which he replied, well, I shot a 65 on the golf course the other day. 9 holes. Okay, so here was a survey. Once you started stacking silver, how long did it take for you to have 100 ounces? 335 votes. 1 month, 25%. 2 months, 18%. 23% for 6 months. 19% for 1 year. 16% for 2 years. So as you see, we're all different. We all have our own pace. 43% did it in less than 2 months, but everyone else took 6 months to 2 years. So there's a wide variety of answers. And so the only true answer is, so what's the right pace for stacking your first 100 ounces or even your first ounce of gold? There's only one answer. Well, the race is long, and in the end, it's only against yourself. So keep stacking at your own pace. If you could earmark $1,000 of your stimulus check to change your pace for silver or gold, which would you choose? If you'd like to explore your options, please click on our featured video.